This crime boss made himself look like a shark. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and we're here for another origin story, and here we are going to be focusing on Warren White, aka the Great White Shark.
Collection of body parts belonging to Warren White, aka the Great White Shark. White got himself sent to Arkham on an insanity plea. He lost a few things other than his mind while there. Made the new look work though, I gotta say.
First appearing in Arkham Asylum Living Hell, crooked financier Warren White, known as the Great White Shark for his ruthlessness, embezzled millions from his company's pension fund and robs virtually all of the company's clients, both working class and upper class, of their life savings. A smug White manages to avoid prison by transferring his case to Gotham City and successfully pleading insanity to avoid prison and speed up his chances of freedom. A strategy he is all too familiar with and convinced it will work. But the plea incenses the judge hearing his case, who is disgusted with White. Realizing that White might have actually set up a trap for himself by pleading insanity, the judge sentences White to Arkham Asylum indefinitely. There he suffers great indignities, can't pronounce it, geez, as a new inmate, or fish. His first cellmate is Death Rattle, a cult leader and mass murderer who plans to turn himself into a human sacrifice. Early in his stay, Killer Croc slices a set of gills into White's neck with his claws, claiming the fish needs a set. Realizing his mistake and pleading insanity, White bribes his psychiatrist, Dr. Ann Carver, into having him transferred to a minimum security prison. However, Carver is revealed to have been killed and replaced by Jane Doe some months before. Her boss, Dr. Jeremiah Arkham, who lost his pension due to White's business practices, orders all of White's transfer papers destroyed. Arkham calls White the worst person I've ever met, a sentiment shared by several individuals, including the Joker, who states that although he's killed people, I didn't steal their kids' college funds. To survive the harassment and violence in Arkham, White allies himself with Two-Face, becoming his coin boy. The relationship quickly ends. However, when Death Rattle threatens the pair, Two-Face's coin flip leads him to abandon White. White then befriends Humpty Dumpty, a childlike murderer and genius who arranges for White to become his cellmate just in time to head off Death Rattle's murder attempt. During a prison riot, White is assaulted and locked in Mr. Freeze's Sub-Zero cell by Jane Doe, who was attempting to claim his identity and leave him for dead, as she had done with Dr. Carver. His injuries, the result of horrific frostbite, leave White deformed. His skin turns a pale white, and his nose, lips, ears, hair, and several of his fingers fall off. These deformities, along with his set of gills, leaves him resembling a real great white shark, an effect which he further enhances by filing his teeth to points after he is driven insane by his ordeals. Ironically, White, who was perfectly sane upon entering Arkham, is transformed into one of the freaks of Batman's rogues gallery. White now uses his business connections to serve as a liaison and fence for many of his fellow inmates. White next appears in the storyline Batman Face the Face, which ran through Detective Comics number 817 through 820, and Batman number 651 through 654, as part of the larger 1 year later storyline, and the storyline in which Batman and Robin disappeared for a year. The Great White Shark had established himself as Gotham's reigning crime boss. As part of a revenge plot against Two-Face for his earlier betrayal, he orders his chief enforcer, the Tally Man, to kill several criminals associated with the Penguin, including Orca, KG Beast, Magpie, and the Ventriloquist, to frame the newly rehabilitated Harvey Dent for the murders. Batman eventually uncovers White's involvement in these crimes, but not in time to prevent Dent, driven insane once again by paranoia, from disfiguring his own face once more and returning to a life of crime. Despite his status as one of the city's most powerful criminals, the Great White Shark remains in Arkham, directing his empire from within his cell and using his imprisoned conditions as a perfect alibi. He most recently appeared in Detective Comics number 832 when Batman apprehends another villain who calls himself the Shark, a former member of the Terrible Trio. When the Shark is sent to Arkham, the Great White Shark apparently plans to punish him for using the name that White had claimed for himself. So are you a fan of the Great White Shark? Make sure to subscribe and leave a like for more origins. And of course, as always, I'd like to see you all next time.